already an all-time great
What?
Cowboys QB?
Can I get it one more time, Molly?
Dak already an all-time great Cowboys
Oh
quarterback?
my God. Oh my God. What? Really? That's like somebody just pick some no-name tight end, okay?
There go that passive-aggressive disrespect.
You know what I'm saying? That had a good day, all right? And then they go like this. They go like, yo, I think that, you right up there and you in the same conversation as Shannon Sharpe. Are you on drugs? Hell no.
Look, I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering why I'm in jail. Don't worry, it was a case of mistaken identity because they thought that we as Cowboys fans was dumb enough to actually believe that the segment and topic that they brought to First Take wasn't a disingenuous piece of WWE manufactured BS contrived in order for them to have a reason to trash Dak Prescott when the fact remains he's the hottest quarterback in the National Football League right now. Look, I don't know who Stephen A. Smith and the rest of First Take and the producers think that they're fooling, but if you look at this segment and you look at this question and you look at how this whole conversation was even positioned, Dak Prescott was set up for failure right here, and First Take has no shame. They just have no shame at this point. If this wasn't the most obvious piece of World Wrestling Entertainment faux television that you've ever seen in your life, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. First Take, Stephen A. Smith, the producers, whoever's idea this was clearly thought of in order to give these guys a chance to completely unleash with unwarranted hate bombs on Dak Prescott, so much so to the point where they want to sit here and act like he's just a quote-unquote random tight end that had a good game one day and was then compared to Shannon Sharpe. Seriously? Is that how we're going to refer to Dak Prescott, a guy who's been the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for 8 seasons, even though he's only really played 7 seasons due to missing a full season worth of games because of injury? But is that how we're really going to treat Dak Prescott? Now remember, I just said this man has only played 7 seasons as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. No person in Dallas Cowboys Nation, including myself, will sit here with a straight face and try to convince anybody that Dak Prescott is an all-time quarterback already. For one, his career's not over. That's unfair to even pose that kind of question in the National Football League, where all it takes is one run to truly define your legacy as a player in this game. We've seen it happen over and over and over again, where guys who would have been looked at a completely different way than what they are now are looked at with reverence because they were able to capture that magic in the span of one singular run. And there's guys that have never won anything in the National Football League and are still looked at as all-time greats because their overall career, when looked at against their peers, was superior than those around them. And that's as simple as it gets. They excelled at some facet in the game, whether that be they had enough longevity in order to break all types of records, or they were just a winner. They were just proven winners. Guys make their bread in this game in different ways, and I can already see that this discussion is starting to be angled in a way to where it's a lose-lose situation for Dak Prescott. He could go on and have some of the most prolific numbers that we've ever seen a quarterback have over the next 5, 6, 7 years, or however long it takes for him to finish out his career. And because of the way that this entire discussion has been set up, people won't give this man his credit unless he wins. And that's just completely unfair because we didn't hold other all-time greats to that standard. But let me get back to the point. No, Dak Prescott isn't an all-time great, and I don't think that he would try to tell you that he's an all-time great, because the main thing to be considered an all-time great within the Dallas Cowboys is winning. We are one of the most winningest franchises in NFL history. We understand as a fan base, and I think everyone's smart enough to know that if you don't win, then that's going to be hard to look at you as a quote-unquote all-time great. DeMarcus Ware is an amazing player. He's a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player, but I don't know if anybody will look at him as an all-time great Dallas Cowboy just because they didn't win when he was here. Dak Prescott understands that unless he takes this team to places it hasn't been in 30 years, whether that be another NFC Championship berth or even just a trip to the Super Bowl, then that will always be a debate amongst Cowboys fans and NFL fans alike, and there will never be a clear-cut answer unless winning is a part of that recipe. So it's completely unfair and disingenuous to even approach this topic like this and even make it a thing to where now everyone's going to sit here, instead of praising what he's doing this season, now everyone's going to sit here and be trying to trash this man and trying to come up with all the reasons why he doesn't deserve to get the kind of praise that he should be getting right now, which is MVP consideration, which is letting this man finish write his story, so that way we can look back at his story and take a look and see of whether or not he should truly be considered an all-time great. Because even though we can sit here and go through the numbers, guys, we can look at the numbers very, very easily and see that Dak Prescott statistically is already an all-time quote-unquote Cowboys quarterback. I'm not going to say all-time great, but he has all-time statistics. He's one of the most prolific passers in Cowboys history. He has the best passer rating over Tony Romo, Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman. If you look at his career pass completions, he's very high on this list at number 3 and has 50 and 60 less games played than the guys at number 2 and number 1. If we look at touchdown passes, he's number 2 on this list, only behind Tony Romo. If we look at completion percentage, no matter what stat you want to look at, he's going to be top of the ranks for the Dallas Cowboys. Pass completion percentage, number 1 for Dak Prescott in the annals of Cowboys history. So while his numbers would suggest that yes, once his career is over with, he has the statistics to go down as the most prolific Cowboys quarterback that we have ever had in this franchise. But winning is a part of the quote-unquote all-time greatness tag. Either that, or you have to be so transcendent and generational to the point to where your skill set and your game just stood out above everyone else's. And Dak Prescott is still just now entering his prime. We can see that he's just now taking that next step to where he's really going into his prime, bro. He has a lot of meat left on the bone here. We do not need to be sitting here having these type of conversations disguised as a legitimate dialogue when really it's just designed to give you a reason to try to trash Dak Prescott during a time where he's number 3 in the entire NFL in quarterback rating. And for the last 4 weeks, the last calendar month, Dak Prescott has 100% been the best quarterback in the National Football League. But instead of giving him his props, instead of talking about how he's actually playing, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith would rather come up with these contrived BS arguments and discussions designed to give them a chance to hate and designed to give them a chance to put on their act, to put on their dog and pony show, to be massless entertainment for the evening while you try to tear down this young man as he's doing something that really should be applauded. And you should be giving the audience that watches your show, the audience that believes the crap that you say, you should be giving your audience the chance to actually just sit back and just really watch this man and watch what he's doing and admire what he's doing, admire where he came from, admire what he's been able to accomplish. We're being robbed of even being able to sit back and just enjoy Dak Prescott as a football player because we keep having to focus on the dialogue surrounding him that's completely generated by the national media. See, this is why I have such a big issue with this, because now you can see the effects of it. There's cause and effect for everything. Dak Prescott's playing the best football that he's ever played in his career. And what are we talking about? We're arguing about, and a lot of people are going to agree with, he's not an all-time great yet. He needs to win or just finish his career out. Let him play the rest of his 5, 6, 7 years, and he'll be number 1 in literally every category. And it'll be undeniable to sit here and say he's not an all-time great Cowboys quarterback because statistically he would have every single record that they would have. But it's completely unfair and disingenuous to have this discussion right now at the time that you're having it, in the midst of a time where you should be trying to give him some consideration for MVP. Yes, we lost to the Eagles. He still played well. Yes, he could have made some more plays. I bet you he makes those plays next time. I would bet my bottom dollar on that. Yes, we lost to the 49ers. That was what we needed. From that point on, he put his cape on and turned into Super Dak. But we can't even sit here and talk about his resiliency and how he's been able to bounce back from all these different situations, how he can bounce back from throwing an interception and then going on and throw for 400 yards and 5 total touchdowns in 3 quarters and admire that. Instead, we have to go with the media-driven BS of just talking about how bad the Giants are, whenever the Giants have given pretty much everyone else that they faced this year a pretty competitive game. Their passing defense isn't bottom in the NFL. It's about 12 to 13, 14, 15. It's in that range. Their passing defense is respectable. But instead of sitting here and actually talking about and giving players flowers as we're just enjoying them play, which is what being a fan is about. Being a fan is about enjoying the players playing the game at a level that you could never conceive of being able to play that game that you love, bro. That's what being a fan is about. Not trying to come up with whatever narrative you can to try to put down any and every player that benefits your pockets to talk negatively about. This is absolutely ridiculous, bro. This topic, this subject was just absolutely shameless. And bro, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, bro, I just lose more and more respect for y'all every time y'all do this kind of crap, man. It's really just getting kind of sad at this point.
And you know what the saddest part about all of this is if Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe were really the best in the industry, wouldn't they be able to get these views? Wouldn't they be able to get the reoccurring viewership? Wouldn't they be able to establish their audience not based off of this TMZ, WWE style of media coverage? Wouldn't they be able to get all of this critical acclaim that they claim that they have by just basically doing exactly what they were originally put there for, which is to talk about the sports that we love, to break down the sports, to give the fans and viewers insights that they themselves don't know or can't glean? Wouldn't you guys be able to do that if you were so good at your jobs?
Because y'all, we're not going to sit here and disrespect Dak Prescott. We're not going to let this discussion take over the discussion that should be happening about Dak, which is he having an MVP quality year? Yes, he is. Don't take the cheese, bro. Y'all know how we in these videos. How them Cowboys. I'll see you on the next one.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey!